So hello and welcome guys to my another Clash of Clans video, and today we'll be talking about, in my opinion, the best spell in the whole game, the Invisibility spell. I mean, there is so much things you can do with this spell, such as Royal Champion Charge, the Warden's Fireball in combination with Invisibility spell, or just saving your pathing or your army. And that's what we'll be talking about today, so let's jump right into it. I've said that this is the best spell in the whole game, but why do I think that? Easily, it is the most versatile spell out of all. It's a part of every army, and right now almost whole meta strategies revolves around him. Its main purpose for which it was invented, at least that's what I think, is to make your army invisible for a short period of time in a small area. This ability is used not just in regular battle when your army is struggling in a high damage area, but also in a specific scenarios on your heroes. The first specific scenario with the heroes is a queen charge. For those who don't know what exactly the queen charge is, you're just trying to push your queen with a 4 or 5 healers into the base to destroy some of the key defenses. But why am I mentioning that? The biggest possible problem that can happen to queen chargers are that the queen is taking too much of a damage. So when you see that this is happening in your battle, you'll just invest the invisibility spell. That will get her out of a danger for 4.25 seconds, so the queen can regain her hit points and continue. But don't forget about the healers. When you place the invisibility spell, they need to be in it. Otherwise, the other defensive buildings will just retarget onto them, and it is very likely they're just going to die. So, now you know you can make a hero or a troop invisible. But that's not all. You may also make a buildings invisible. That takes us to another possible usage of this spell with a hero. To be more precise, with a hero equipment called Fireball. You may have seen it in my previous video on the funneling, but this time I will explain how to execute the Fireball properly. Fireball is considered as one of the high-risk, high-value equipments. It deals extreme amount of damage, but believe me, it's very easy to screw up. Also, it has a relatively straight rules. It is placed at the closest defensive building to a warden. So, how can an invisibility spell be used with this equipment? Right, you'll just make invisible the closest defensive building where you not want to place the warden's fireball. Thereafter, the fireball will retarget to another closest visible defensive building. This way, you may change the warden's fireball placement, so you will fulfill its true value potential. Every time you're using a fireball in a battle, the first thing you need to look at is where you want to place it with potentially biggest value for your attack. It could be placed for a huge damage into key defenses such as monolith or scatter shots, or for funnel purposes. Of course, combining these two factors is the best possible outcome, but in reality it really depends on the type of base. It's fair to say that fireball is a bit of a advanced way to start the attack, so it requires either practice or a bit of an understanding of how the game works. Anyway, this base allows us to combine both damage and a funnel. I've decided that attacking from a 3 o'clock area would be the best. My goal is to hit the air defense. The area of a fireball damage is around a 6 tower, so it will damage every single thing in that circle. Which, I mean, it's more than enough, I'd say. Therefore, I need to make the air defense the closest building to a warden. So, here starts the plan. I see that the archer tower is accessible very easily with a warden, so without any further thinking, I'll let the archer tower destroy. Then, there are 3 invisibility spells which need to be used. Number 1 is for the area around the ricochet cannon. The number 2 is for a mortar and a scatter shot, and the number 3 is for the bomb tower with a wizard tower. Then, all of a sudden, The air defense is the closest and I'm ready to pop the ability. So let's look at the implementation of my planning. Needless to say that the invisibility spell is active for a 4.25 second, so the dropping of the spell needs to be pretty quick. So now you understand why I've said that the fireball is pretty easy to screw up. All it takes is one misclick, slow dropping, or forgetting about one defense which is closer to warden, and the whole plan, the whole attack maybe, will be just destroyed. And right now, the most meta strategy you can think of, the Royal Champion Charge, or if you want to, the Spirit Walk. I mean, there is 4 rules that need to be abided to perform this strategy correctly. The first one, the most obvious, is that you need to be using Electro Boost on a Royal Champion. Then, you need to have a max level Invisibility spell and also max level Spirit Fox. And finally, the last one is that the Royal Champion needs to be the first thing that is placed on a battlefield. So, the principle is that you alternate Invisibility spell with a Spirit Fox Invisibility. Both are active for around 4 seconds. If you are a little bit lost on when to drop the Invisibility spell on a Royal Champion, you can use the battlefield countdown into your own advantage. After a Royal Champion deployment, the first spell is dropped at the 2 minutes and 56 seconds. Then, every 9 to 10 seconds, you place another one. So that's the theory. But what to combine with the Electro Boots? There are a few combinations and each one is played a little bit differently. The first possible combination is with a haste vial. This combination provides the best possible damage you can get out of a Royal Champion. Your goal is to lead her into the most valuable places in the base. That means you want to destroy the Town Hall, Monolith, Fire Spitter, Scatter Shots, and so on. Normally, this variation is played with a larger amount of Invisibility spell, so that makes a space for a few potential mistakes. But remember, the more Invisibility spell you will invest into the equipment strategy, the less Invisibility spell will be available in the later parts of the attack. So, I would recommend playing that with either 7 or 8 Invisibility spell, or just go all in. Take all 13 Invisibility spell and use that on a Royal Champion. You may ask yourself, in what strategies will I use all my 13 Invisibility spell just on a Royal Champion? The answer is the Masked Dragon or Hydra. The Hydra is a combination of dragons and a Dragon Rider. And I can tell you pretty comfortably that these 2 strategies are very commonly used in the Legends League. But the combination with the Hawk equipment is from my own experience the most effective and easiest to carry out correctly. In this case, you'll need just 4 to 5 Invisibility spell at most. It's because your goal is to make a funnel with the Royal Champion. Then, after her job is done, you will just recall her into the army to help you with your main push. This Hawk equipment is used to provide a greater protection in case you made an error. When the ability is activated, the Royal Champion gets invisible for 0.5 seconds, so the defensive buildings will retarget onto Hawk Riders and potentially save a Royal Champion's lives. I mean, this is a type of strategy that allows you to be extra versatile and could be put into almost every army. By far the craziest combination is with a Rocket Spear. Of course, it's pretty expensive and maxing these 2 equipments gonna take you a while, but as it usually is with epic equipment, they are quite strong. Again, you'll take just 4 to 5 Invisibility spell into a battle, but this time there is a special mechanic. If you go to the settings, you'll see that there is a column with automatic ability popping when your hero gets KO'd. For this Royal Champion version, you need to turn that off, because after you get enough value from your Royal Champion charge, you'll just let her die. But the catch in this combination is that you will take a revive spell into your army. The revive spell will revive your dead hero into the 70% of his formal hit points. But all that remains is to place the spell at the right moment. The right moment usually comes when your army is getting close by to the dead hero and you see a pretty good value for your Rocket Spear. But be careful. When those ability activations are turned off, you need to take an extra look on your other heroes as well. Otherwise, you might just waste their abilities. To be honest, this is more like a flex strategy, and those attacks require your full focus throughout the whole attack, which I mean is not ideal for just a casual multiplayer attack. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this video and that this video helped you in some way. But don't forget that these invisibility spell strategies are quite complicated and requires a bit of a practice. So don't be surprised if you won't be pulling perfect 3 stars since the beginning. It requires practice as everything in a Clash of Clans. But believe me, after a while, you won't be using anything else because these 3 strategies are literally out of this world. Anyway, thank you for watching and see you in my next video.